Welcome to episode 67 of the Arctic Crafts podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. There is also a group for the podcast on Ravelry where you can participate in make-alongs and the occasional giveaway. And there is also a Ko-fi page where you can support the podcast with money for shipping prices and stuff like that. And that was Snip. Everything is linked down below, and something I always forget to say is a welcome to returning viewers and welcome to new viewers. If this is the first time you drop in, I hope you like what you see and you subscribe. And when it comes to the weather, it's really miserable. It's my least favorite type of weather for the season. It's cold, but not cold enough for it to snow, too cold for it to rain. So it's kind of sleet and icy and not nice. I'm so pleased I work from home that I don't have to go out in this weather if I don't have to. And today I didn't have to because I'm recording a podcast. So that's my excuse for staying home today. We'll do a bit of admin before we start to talk about the knitting. I have some FOs for you today. I have some whips, and I also have some show and tell, and of course I have a shop update on Sunday. But first of all, there's a sale going in the shop at the moment. I'm calling it my early Black Friday sale because Black Friday is next Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And we do have Black Friday in Norway, even though we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Don't ask me why, but so I'm doing a flash sale, and it's until Sunday, 25% off. My shop update on Sunday won't be included though. So it's the yarn that's in the shop at the moment that's included in the sale. And I have another piece of admin. I could do this in show and tell while I'm showing you the update, but I'm doing it now so I don't forget. I have a new base coming to the shop. I have been thinking about for a while that I maybe should get a Non-Superwash sweater yarn, because people have been asking, and I decided to go with a sport weight because I do the Surisilk Cloud, and Surisilk held with DK makes a really nice weight for sweaters. And there's 300 meters on the skeins for both of them. The Surisilk Cloud is 300 meters for 50 grams, and my new base is, snap again, is 300 meters for 100 grams. It's 100% pure Highland wool, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, because the first thing I'm going to do is knit up a sample, and that was the shop news. And maybe we should start talk about the knitting. I'm wearing one of my FOs. It's the Friday Slipover, the V-neck version by PetiteKnit. And this is knit in stracciatella, 100% merino, fingering weight held together with Surisilk Cloud. Both is stracciatella. And it's really nice. And I have discovered that a vest is perfect for me because it's really nice and cozy and it's not too warm. So I might be doing more vests. And this is going to come with me to Nyksund as a sample. I might wear it. I haven't decided yet, but it's coming with me to Nyksund. And maybe I should talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I've gotten a haircut. Finally, I've been to the hairdresser and I feel like a normal person again. because this is more me than anything. You might not believe it when you see me, but I'm kind of a rock chick. So I like having a bit of an edgy hairdo. It's not edgy as such, but maybe for a 56-year-old lady, I'm not sure, but I like it. And as you can see, I've actually wearing makeup today, so I really try today to look my best. I'm also going out with Hobbii this evening, so I don't have to put any makeup up then, I guess, because I've already done it. Coffee, it's a must. So that was my first FO that I'm wearing. A really fun pattern to knit. PetiteKnit's pattern always are really simple to knit, and I like the shape of this one. And I thought when I was knitting it that the armholes might be too big. I still struggle to pick the right size to knit because of the weight loss. So I have to be really careful when I measure, and I have to do gauge swatches. I really have to, because before I didn't mind if things were too big, but now I don't want things to be too big. I want things to fit. So I have to be more careful when I start new projects. But it's a really nice problem to have. So my next FO, I'm not sure if you remember my no frills that I knit with Møysalen and mohair from Sugar Rush from Comfy Cozy Knits held together. I'll put up a picture. This side. Put up a picture of it so you can see what it looked like. I knit myself an everyday Slouchy beanie with some of the leftovers. It's a bit prickly because it's mohair. So I'm not sure how much wear it's going to get, but I really love the look of it. And as you can see, this is not slouchy at all, because I don't like slouchy hats, so this fits like a beanie. I could try it on, but this took time. My hairdresser, I told my hairdresser, because it's so short on the sides and at the back, it's tempting to wear a hat, but what do I do with the thing in the front? And she said, just put the hat on the back of your head, so the thing comes in front of the hats. And of course she's a hairdresser, so I don't want to test it now though, because I have to keep on filming afterwards. I don't want to pause the recording to fix my hair. But anyway, this is the Everyday Slouchy Beanie by Dragon Hoard Designs, and it's knit in Arctic Crafts Møysalen and Sugar Rush mohair silk from Comfy Cozy Knits. So that was a finished object. Dropping that on the floor, because it's more chaotic than usual here today, because where we're going this evening, it's the stamp auction, and and Hobbii is the auctioneer, so he has all the lots for the auction standing here in boxes. So I have stacked things on top of each other, and it's more chaotic than usual. Just saying. So if you hear a thump in the background, probably that's a box that's fallen down. And now I realized there was something else I was going to show you, but it's show and tell, so I can take a break later and go get it. If I remember. Oh, I remember. I'm rambling. It's that sort of day. The next FO was a really quick FO, because I started with a sock snake. And I sent Sue some cheap commercial sock yarn that I bought from Germany, and she sent it back to me in the form of sock snakes. And this is the first time I've done socks from a sock snake, and I used Chevrel's Hilfiger from Chevrel Stuff. She has this brilliant worksheet on Ravelry that you can use to calculate how long to do the leg, how long you need to have from the heel to the toe. You just put in the measurements of the person you're knitting socks for in Excel, and then it calculates it for you, and it tells you how many inches you need between the different parts of the sock. So that was brilliant. Sorry about that. I had to stop the recording because I got a phone call. And Snape is making lots of noises in the background today. Try to ignore him, because I am trying my best to. So I showed you the socks that I made from Hobbii, from a sock snake. It's a 60 stitch cylinder, so they're a bit tight, but he gets them on, and hopefully they will lock on his feet. But Sue is going to use a looser gauge next time she makes snakes for me. So that's the good thing about sock machines. You can adjust to get the fit you want. So that's an FO. Where did I put the other FO? Behind me. And I have another pair of socks. I think these were finished when I recorded last, but I don't think I showed them to you. My Sweet Pea from Turtle Pearl, those socks are finished. I had not woven in the ends yet, I'm sorry to say, but they're finished. So that is the colorway Sweet Pea from Turtle Pearl Yarns, and it's the base with the cashmere in it, and this was a gift from Sue in Canada. So this is my usual vanilla recipe. 64 stitches on a 2.25 needle, and I don't normally do the legs too long, because I prefer my socks to have a short leg and it goes faster. And it's a German short row heel and a wedge toe. I think that's what you call this sort of toe. So that's that. And the last FO was a really quick knit. I knit it in 3 days because it's bulky yarn on 6mm needles. And this is a sweater. And again, what's the point with showing off green when you can't tell that it's green? I'll put up a picture of the sweater so you can see what the color really looks like. The pattern is Nomad Fair Isle by Gayle. Let's see, Gayle Bunn, and it's from Yarnspiration, so it's a free pattern. And I really love this one. And the yarn is something Sue bought for me because she's part enabler, part mule. Because she went to one of her local yarn shops and they had this yarn on sale. It's Patton's Lincoln Fog. It looks a bit disheveled because she vacuums everything before she sends it, just like I do with orders. If you order 1 or 2 skeins from me, chances are you'll get them vacuumed. 3 skeins or more, I pack in boxes, and then there's no sense in vacuuming them. So this is Patton's Lincoln Fog, and it's 75% acrylic and 25% wool, and it's got this beautiful halo. And you wouldn't think that there's acrylic in this. And the sweater is really nice and lightweight, and it's really cozy because it's got a bit of a halo. And I have lots of yarn because they had these on sale in more or less sweater quantities. There were 6 balls in 1 bag, and 1 bag was 25 Canadian. And that's nothing. So I told her to get me 1 bag of grey and 1 bag of lime green. And as I said, I'm going to put up a picture of what that green color actually looks like in real life, because it's not that. It's lime green. So I have enough left of the green for another sweater, and I'm thinking I might either do another Ursa because I really love that sweater, or I might do a Carbeth. That means I have to buy the pattern. Or I'm going to do a Felix cardigan. And because I haven't got the pattern for the cardigan, but for the sweater, I might just knit the sweater and steek it. I'll see. I haven't decided on the pattern yet. So that's what I'm going to do with the rest of that yarn, because I have loads left. I haven't got enough left of the grey to use it for. I could actually use it for a cowl or something, perhaps, what I have left of the grey. Or I could do the opposite. I could knit a lime green sweater with grey patterning. I haven't decided. I have lots of other projects I want to do. I want to do the Radvent by Amber O'Brien with all my Nora George minis, because I've subscribed to the Blanket Club all year, and I haven't shown them to you as they have arrived, because it's a mystery club. But I'm going to show you my treasure chest the next time, because by then I hopefully have decided what to use the minis for, so I can show you what they look like. I have a plastic tub I keep them in, because 5 minutes every month for a year. I haven't gotten them. I think I started March or April. Enough about that. I'm not even showing them to you this time, so I'm not sure why I'm talking about it. But that was the last of my FOs. But I actually have some FOs this time. So then we can talk about my whips. I have resurrected one of my hibernating whips, because I decided if I was going to knit another garment, I should finish one of the. I started the sweater, the Nomad sweater, nevertheless, because I knew it was a quick knit. 6mm needles, I can whip that out in 3 or 4 days. I know that, and especially when there's stranded color work, because that's much more fun than just stocking it round and round. So I have picked my caramel cardigan by Isabel Kraemer back up. And I'm actually not in the middle of a row. Good for me. So holding it the right side up would be a smart move. So this is the caramel by Isabel Kraemer, and the colors are actually pretty accurate. What I'm doing here is I'm holding one strand of undyed grey Polldale with mohair I bought from Hobbii, and I'm almost out on this, but the mohair is really colorful and variegated, and I'm holding it with grey, and it makes this result. And I love this a lot, and I think this cardigan is going to be really, really warm, so I'm not sure I can get a lot of use out of it, but I think I have about 4 inches left or something, maybe 3, before I can start the ribbing, and then it's only sleeve island left. And it's really long rows, because it's supposed to go like this. There's no closures on it, so it's supposed to hang open. So, but I'm going back and forth, and this is my newest needles, my Lykke Blush interchangeables. And the thing about these is that I didn't like them much to begin with, because they were kind of grippy. But now that I use them and they're been polished a bit by use, they're wonderful to knit with. So that's, I have to remember that. I have to stick to it until they have been polished down a bit. I'm not sure there's a way I could do that to all the needles before I start using them. But so that's it for the caramel cardigan. And that's held in a bag from Sue, Tangled Skein CA, or Crafting Knit 7. I wanted a bag like this, and I wanted one of these, but she didn't have enough of either of them to make the bag, so I asked her to make one, use both for the bag, and it's down to the straps. And this is so cool. And okay, so it's sort of Halloweeny, but this bag is not going to be used only around Halloween because I love it so much. So this is going to be one of my sweater bags all year that I'm going to use all year. And I have a new whip. It's not exactly new because I think I had started this the night before I recorded last, but I didn't show it to you because I barely started it. I've knit a bit more on it, and I'm not in the middle of a row on this one either. I'm starting to get the hang of this. This is sort of my TV knitting because it's only 3 different pattern repeats and you repeat them over and over again. So it's sort of, I don't need the pattern anymore. I just look further down and okay, so that's what I'm doing next. This is from Hobbii, Hobbii. They have an international web store as well. This yarn is called Winter Glow. Sorry about that. I just suddenly got the message the recording has stopped. So hopefully my new laptop gets here soon, so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. As I was saying, this is from Hobbii. I'll link their international store down below, and the yarn is called Winter Glow. I bought one of these before, and I knit a shawl that I sent to Sue in Canada. The pattern is May I Borrow This Please? And it's the perfect pattern for a gradient yarn like this, because there's not a lot of stuff happening. And I'm not sure when this will be finished, because this is sort of one of those projects that you knit on from time to time and then you put it away. And because I have enough shawls, this might end up being gifted. This basket is also from Tangled Skein CA or Sue. You recognize the fabric? And that's where I keep this, because this isn't going anywhere, so I can keep it in a basket because this is staying home. The last, I'm trying to figure out where to put this. This is something Sue sent me. And it's so perfect when you have a gobstopper. I won't open this to show you the ball because I can show you the colors in the sock. This is self-striping from Comfy Cozy Knits, and it's oh what fun, and it's been lying around since last year, and this is going to be a pair of Christmas socks for me. This is was 50 grams because me and Sue, we exchanged self-striping. She bought full skeins and split them in 2 and then sent me half the skein. So this is was a 50 gram skein, and it's not too Christmassy, it's more like a gingerbread house colorway, and I love these colors. And because it's not too Christmassy, I probably would keep wearing these socks the rest of the year. In case you're wondering why it looks like this, I started with a provisional cast on, and I'll just keep knitting until I run out of yarn, and I'll have a sock snake. And this is my car knitting, and this is what I'm bringing tonight when we're going to that auction, because I'm not participating in the auction, I'm just going to sit in the back knitting. So when I run out of yarn, I'll just knit a toe. I'll just take out the provisional cast on and knit a ribbing on this. I will cut it in half and do the same on the other half, and then I'll use Cheva's worksheet to figure out where to put the heels. I know these are going to be shorties, but I don't care because I prefer shorties. So I haven't figured out what color to use for the ribs, heels and toes yet. Cuffs is a better word than ribs. Ribs is something you eat. So I haven't decided on color yet, but I think I might go with brown. We'll see. Depends on what I can find in my stash of minis, I guess. So that was the last whip that I'm working on. I have loads of whips, but those are my active whips. And that fell to the floor. I'll just keep it there. Snape is in a different part of the room, so if he start paying it any attention, I'll just have to pause and salvage it. More coffee. So that was my whips. Let me just check my show notes. Before I start the show and tell, let me remind you that we have a make-along going in the Ravelry group and on Instagram. There is, it's the Grinch Mal 2021, where it's a selfish make-along. It has to be something for you. Just a moment. I had to. Yeah. He's not a happy bunny. He wants my attention. What was I saying? Grinch Mal. It has to be something for you. The exception is if it's green. So if you're knitting a pair of Christmas socks for somebody and they're green, you're good. So that's the only rules. It could be anything, as long as it's selfish or green. And the hashtag on Instagram is GrinchMal2021. So another stop and start. Snape is having issues today. It's like recording with a toddler in the room. But hopefully I can get this done with this last take, because I'm afraid stuff will stop working at any moment, so I want to get this done. So this is going to be sort of a mess, but you're used to that, aren't you? And for you new viewers, if you're expecting a professional streamlined podcast, you have to go elsewhere. This is what you're getting. But this might be my last regular podcast of the year, because I'm starting my Arctic Advent next weekend, and I'm going to record every Sunday in December. And I'm going to do that as a mishmash of stuff we've been doing and stuff I've been knitting on. I've been thinking I want to do it like that, instead of doing both podcasts and Advent. So instead of separating the two and have a Vlogmas where I just do other things and not any knitting, and then do podcasts, I'll just do everything in one. And the good thing about that is I don't have to. Vlogtober was kind of it was exhausting at times, because I felt like I had to come up with something to do every day to make it interesting. This way I record when something interesting is happening, but I can just gather up stuff like that and then put everything in on Sunday. There's one problem with this plan, and that is that the first Sunday of Advent we're in Nixon, Christmas Village. So the first Arctic Advent, episode 1, won't be live until Monday, the day after the first Sunday of Advent. Hopefully that will work out a bit better for the rest of Advent. And for those of you who bought my Advent in the shop, remember, next Sunday you can start opening them. You're not waiting until December 1st. You're opening your first Advent next Sunday. So you get to open it at the end of November. And I hope you like it. I haven't got anything. I made only the ones I sold, so I haven't got any for myself, so I can't show them as you open them. So hopefully you like them. As I said, next year is going to be different. I'm not going to do for coordinating skein, 50 gram skeins. Next year I'm going to do minis, but I'm not going to do, I'm going to do both Halloween and Advent. I'm doing 13 days of Halloween and 12 days of Christmas. So that's what I'm doing next year. Or that's the plan at the moment. I could change my mind. We'll see. But that's next year. This year, fortunately, I'm finished with all this. And Hobbii actually asked me about 2 weeks ago, what do you think? After the weekend after Christmas, the Christmas village, should we go away for the weekend and have a nice meal in the restaurant to celebrate that you have no more obligations before Christmas, except for the usual stuff, dyeing yarn, and I haven't got any fairs I'm going to. I haven't got anything, deadlines for anything other than the deadlines I put on myself for dyeing yarn for the shop. So we're actually going to Svolvær the weekend after the Christmas village. So I'm going to record and do and finish up the Advent for the second Sunday of Advent before the fact, so I can get it up on the correct day. I'm not doing this again. I'm not going to let you down 2 weekends in a row. But anyway, we're going off to Svolvær, and we're having a nice Christmassy meal at a restaurant and staying over at a hotel, visiting relatives. So the 2 first weekends are going to be a bit busy. But it's all good fun because I get to go away with Hobbii, and he's coming with me to Nyksund as well, and we're also going to stay in a hotel when we're there. So that's kind of a working weekend, but it's going to be nice anyway. And here I go talking about stuff that's not at all interesting for you, when I should be getting through this so I can finish the recording before everything explodes or something. So then I'm going to show you what I've got in the mail. I got some stuff from Sue. I've got the swap advent we did, and I got the Christmas box. It had something for the cats and something for Hobbii that we could open straight away. And there was some Christmas presents for me that I've stashed away. The Advent is also stashed away. And in the Christmas box, she actually knit me a poncho, or a wrap, or what you might call it. And it's knit with 1 skein of yarn. And I haven't got, I didn't bring the pattern and everything with me. I'm going to put it down on the screen so you can see what it's called. And I won't put this on now because I'm hot enough as it is. But this is staying in the living room because this is the perfect thing to just wrap yourself in if it's a bit chilly in the evenings. So thank you, Sue. I really love that. And she knows me. Grey and purple. That's sort of the right colors for me. Something else that she, together with the yarn from Patterns, she also was a mule for me, because Hobbii wanted to buy me a sweater quantity and I wanted to buy some from Canada. So Sue, I told Sue, can you get, I googled Canadian hand dyers. I got a long list, and then I asked Sue to make me a short list. I ended up with Rose Hill yarns, and this is the beautiful little bundle that Sue sent me. Hobbii paid and Sue shipped. Works for me. So this is a Rose Hill yarns. It's on their fingering weight. It's Superwash Merino Nylon and the colorway is River Rocks. I haven't completely decided on a sweater for this yet, but I'm in no rush. There's no expiry date on yarn. But it's nice to have a hand-dyed sweater quantity lying around for when I find the perfect sweater. And I'm also going to show you something that isn't new. I'm not sure if you remember, I told you I was going to frog a sweater that was too big for me, and I'm going to frog it and repurpose the yarn, trying to figure out the way to. So this is the yarn. This started out as 5 50-gram skeins. I bought this set in Spring into Wool in Yorkshire, and it's of course because I knit a sweater and I have no idea where the leftovers are. This isn't 50 grams anymore. It's about 35, I think, of each color, and I've got almost 50 grams of the pink. So now I have the yarn, and I'll just keep that around as well for when I find the perfect pattern. But after I frogged it, I skeined up the yarn and I soaked it and I dried it with a weight on it to stretch it, and it looks like new. So that's a tip if you want to frog something and you want to get the yarn straight. Soak it and then put something put some weight on it when you dry it. I just hung it up on the drying rack I use for my own hand-dyed yarn, and I put a bar at the bottom of them, and I put 2 coat hangers on the ends, and that was enough to stretch the yarn so it was straight. And because you don't want to put too much pressure on it either, you don't want to stretch the yarn, you just want it to straighten out, if that made any sense. And one more thing I got in the mail, and it's this thing, and I really love it. It's from Untold, a Norwegian company, and this is my sock knitting notions pouch, or what you would call it. I have everything in here that I need for socks. I have my magic loop needle. I have this is 3 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters, 2.25 millimeters. I have my flexi flips, or crazy trio as they're called in Europe, and I have several different 9-inch circulars. Sorry, and I have my darning needles. I have my tiny little scissors. I have DPNs 2.25 and 2.5, and in the zipper pouch I have more darning needles, tape measure, and a needle gauge. And this is also what I use to measure my gauge, but this is in here because I'm not using it for socks, but I tend to forget where I put it. Now I know where it is. And on this ring I have the stitch markers I use when I knit socks. I use one of these for start of the rounds and one of these for halfway, because you need to know where the halfway point is as well, because of the heel and toe and everything. This is leather, and it's really good quality, and it's made by a Norwegian company, and I'm of course going to link their shop down below. Let's go through my shop update and get this over with so I can start editing. I love doing podcasts, don't get me wrong, but I prefer to do them when I don't have a deadline, when I don't have technical issues, when I don't have a toddler of a cat. That's having one of those days. So hopefully it's going to get better. It can only get better, right? So then we're going to run through the shop update on Sunday. And again, the shop update, the things I'm showing you now, won't be included in the sale, and the sale ends at midnight on Sunday. So stuff in the shop at the moment, 25% off, this won't be included. So let's see what I have in here. Sorry about that. Again, it's Snape. I have been dyeing up a bit of worsted. And I have 3 different colorways of worsted going into the shop. I have this Moody Mauve on worsted. I have Maison on worsted. And I have Glamrock on worsted. Just remember a hat. Just imagine a hat in this. So that's Glamrock on worsted. And there's also some DK going into the shop. I have Christmas Village on DK and Maison on DK. And this is my XR Merino DK, so it's got nylon in it. When it comes to the Christmas Village, I'm going to tell you something about the Christmas Village, because I love this colorway so much. In Norwegian, this colorway is called Jul I Nyksund. It's my colorway for the festival. So I'm going to have this with me at the festival in loads of different bases. But this colorway, I figure it's not that Christmassy. So this is going to stay in my shop as an all year round colorway. And it's only going to be called Nyksund, because the colors match the colors in Nyksund, the houses in Nyksund. So this, just like Maison, that's also named after a local mountain that I can see from my kitchen window. So Nyksund is going to be a staple in my shop, because it's not that Christmassy and I really love it. And so that's my XR Merino DK. We can keep going with the Christmas Village or Jul I Nyksund. I have 3 more. I have it on Corriedale, my 80% Corriedale, 20% nylon, Corriedale sock. I have it on Polldale sock. I have Polldale minis with the green. So it's 50 grams of Christmas Village and 20 grams of green. So that was another stop and start, but this was a good one, because I had to stop to the yarn from the new base I was telling you about, the 100% Highland wool sport weight, just came in the door. So I get to take a good look at that afterwards, and I'll post a picture on Instagram about it. But first of all, I have to go through the rest of my shop update, and then I can finish this hot mess of a podcast. I'm not sure why I keep telling you it's a hot mess, because if you've been here before, you know that my podcasts are a hot mess. So that was the Christmas Village, and I have Maison coming into the shop on Merino. So I have Maison on worsted, Maison on DK, and Maison on Merino. And the reason why I'm dyeing all this Maison now is because of the Christmas Village, because it's a local mountain. So I'm taking 3 different bases of Maison. I also have unicorn. What unicorn? Going into the shop on merino. It's a pale lilac. It looks blue on the camera, but it's lilac. And I have self-striping going into the shop. I have You're a Mean One. I'm not sure why greens are such a problem on camera. It might be the lighting. I might have to experiment a bit with lighting. And I have Aurora Borealis going into the shop on self-striping. This is, on this, the black is twice as wide as the other two. So that's Aurora Borealis, and this is You're a Mean One. I think I might be sold out of the You're a Mean One in the shop. I had one skein left, I think, but that might have gone now. So, again, You're a Mean One. That's not going to stay in the shop because that's a Christmas colorway. This is going to stay all winter. And I think I'm going to just start doing the Arctic Sunset as my summer self-striping. And something I did yesterday, it took forever, but I made 3 8-meter long skeins, 4 stripers. So I'm going to dye a 4-stripe self-striping next week. And I've already decided to do neon lights. I've already done neon lights once as a self-striping, but I did 3 stripes. This time I'm doing 4. There's 5 different colors in the neon lights mini set that I've taken the name from. So it's going to be orange, pink, turquoise, and neon green. That's going to be the colors in the 4-striper. It took me forever to make those skeins. So, yeah. Self-striping, there's a reason why it's expensive. So that's what I have for my shop update. There's not much left to say, except I hope you have a really nice weekend. And I'll see you again next Monday for the first installment of the Arctic Advent. That's what I'm calling it. I'm not calling it Vlogmas, I'm calling it Arctic Advent. Because it's part podcast, part vlog, and it's on the Sundays of Advent. And if I like the format, if I really find that this works, I'll just keep doing this next year. I might do a bit of a change. I might call it Arctic Advent and then post them on Mondays, because the weekends of December is often busy. So I might just do the thing where I record everything and then I post on Mondays. Maybe I should just decide. Here I go again. This is typically me. I make decisions on the fly while I'm talking to you. See, I decided. Arctic Advent is going to be posted the Monday after. That's it. So I'm going to record up until, because then I can actually include stuff we do on the Sundays as well. See? So every Monday of Advent I'm going to post an Arctic Advent, and no regular podcasts in December. So I'll see you next Monday. And I hope you have a really nice weekend, and thank you so much for spending time with me. Now I'm going to go snip some yarn fumes, because 100% Highland wool, that's going to smell sheepy, I bet you. So I'll see you, and I'll stop rambling. Epilogue lady. Bye bye.